Well, Dave, just when you look at the offense tonight, how they were able to kind of just fight at the plate, battle through at-bats, put the results, string hits together, what were you kind of just seeing from this group and as a true positive of kind of you guys turning the page from yesterday and finding ways to get to Logan Webb early?
It was just a, great team offensive performance. I thought score early, take a lead, then, lose that lead in the bottom half, and then to come back and fight back against a really good pitcher. Just some big at-bats, all throughout the lineup. I recall the Teo at-bat, the Miggy at-bat, the Ben Rortvet at-bat. There were some big ones all throughout the night. Conforto took some really good at-bats. So, again, across up and down the lineup, really good stuff, and against a really good pitcher. So it was good to see us break out tonight and hopefully, take that into tomorrow.
For Tanner just to close out this one the way that he did, how much of a building block can that be for him? And were there any adjustments maybe that you saw visually that he might have changed?
I thought the slider tonight was much better. And I think for me, I just wanted to get him back in the game. I want him to, know that we have confidence in him. And I just felt that to kind of wash last night's outing, what better way to do that than to get back in there? And so to his credit, he made the most of it. I thought the fastball was good. And, again, I thought the slider tonight was much more sharp and got some swing and miss.
11 of the 24 guys who got on base did so with 2 strikes. Does that just kind of speak to, the competitiveness of the at-bats at the plate and kind of the approach that you saw from guys tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, I just don't see why we can't do that as far as approach on a nightly basis. And with 2 strikes, you got to give something up. And I think for me tonight, I saw us give up the pull side. And then you're starting to get hits to the big part of the field, hits the other way to the other gap, and, winning pitches. And we did that all night long. Good stuff.
How tough was it to kind of move past the second inning when you get the bases loaded there and don't score?
Yeah, that was, it's tough when, you got 1 out and Shohei's on deck and then you can't get to him. But, he started off that next inning with a homer and got us back feeling good about ourselves. And, it turns out Ben had a really good offensive night.
Max, okay, take him out because of the hit?
I took him out because of the just to be safe. And so he'll get essentially a day and a half. He'll be down tomorrow, which is a scheduled day off. And scary moment, but he came out of it fine. But, at that point in time, I just felt that, just best to kind of cut his night short.
Will he still be monitored going forward for any?
You know what? I think that we'll probably check on him how he sleeps, but I think that he's going to be fine. But we'll keep eyes on him.
When you talk about feeling like you guys can put together that kind of offensive game and approach every night, does a game like this, when you have the results that you did, kind of help make that happen going forward over the rest of the year?
Yeah, and I think that tomorrow we're going to get we're going to need the same type of approach versus Robbie Ray. He's got good stuff. There's swing and miss stuff. There's a slider down below. There's a curveball. So you gotta be willing to go deep into counts and be willing to kind of fight to win pitches with 2 strikes. And so if we can do that, we'll be fine. And that's my expectation.
And did you decide Shohei's pitching day?
He's going to pitch Tuesday.
Went to Kirby, pretty early tonight. What did you see from him? Where he still kind of?
I think his performance was better than the line score. I just felt that in the 5th inning, I went to Henriquez early, obviously with Clayton going 3 innings, and I felt, with down 1 run, I wanted to win the game. I thought it was a good lane for Kirby and felt that it's a good way for him to, keep us in the ballgame. And then we tacked on before that, but he was already kind of up. He was up before that.
When I was watching Enriquez, it seemed, whether you meant to be or not, like a beautiful piggyback situation where Clayton has his repertoire and then Enriquez comes in throwing 100. That may have been just need tonight, but is that something you could do, or is he better off Enriquez as just a 1-inning guy?
Well, he's done up downs for us, but it's certainly 1+. For me, I just felt that to have him available online tomorrow potentially could be helpful. I think that there is some part of it of who's available, but the other part of it is that when you're throwing 100 miles an hour in the 4th inning, guys aren't as interested as they are later in the game. So that was a little bit of my thought too.
Shohei's now one shy of 50 homer in 2 years in a row. So how difficult is it?
Very difficult, given that it doesn't happen very often. I don't know how many guys have done that, but it just speaks to how special Shohei is as a ball player, and even tonight, taking walks and doing what he does, and giving guys behind him opportunities to drive in runs. But yeah, it's quite the accomplishment.